All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of the We Hate Sports Podcast, episode 257, coming at you on this Sunday night. Happy International Women's Day for all our female listeners. My name is Billy Cameron, and we got the OG back. We got the OG crew back once again. We are back in full effect. Man, we got Bam and Gianni on the call this week. Jill set to join us later on. And guys, it's been I'm not gonna lie, the last 2 weeks specifically have been long. I don't know how y'all feel, but I feel like the last 2 weeks specifically have just been very long. A lot of shit's happened. It's really the snow that messed it up for everybody. But with these last 2 weeks, there's a lot going on in the sports world. We currently got the World Baseball Classic going on as we speak. With Great Britain being eliminated already, Israel, don't worry, they're about to be right behind. The powerhouses of Japan, Dominican Republic, and USA showing off. Did you see that Kyle Schwarber nuke? But also have to talk about NFL offseason and the moves that we've already seen made and the trades that we've already seen made, from across the league. So we're going over that. We'll also be talking about the most influential football player of all time. Influence is a strong word, and we're going to break down what that truly means. We also have to talk about who the number one draft pick in the NBA draft is going to be for this upcoming season because AJ Diamanza and Aaron Pearson considering coming back for potentially one more year of college. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. And Jason Tatum has made his return less than a year after tearing his Achilles in the playoffs, making his return for the number two seeded Boston Celtics. We'll break down our reactions to that and many more in the episode this week. Make sure y'all tap into the We Hate Sports Podcast and follow us all our socials, We Hate Sports all across the board. Okay, so first question we'll start off tonight is actually with who is the most influential football player of all time. This is a very loaded question to begin, but really get the our brain juices flowing. Um, you know, I'll start with you this week, man. First of all, glad to see you again, brother. Truly, welcome back. Who do you think in your mind is the most influential football player of all time?
First off, glad to be back. Dealing with some computer issues, but we'll be back up and running very soon. So I'm on the phone for now. I got two answers, kinda. Not really two answers. Uh, Honorable mention is Michael Vick. Uh, I was a little bit younger during the Michael Vick hype, but I was still there for the Michael Vick hype, especially being in Atlanta at that time. That man was a god and a legend to the people of Atlanta and just black people in general. He just brought a certain swag back to the NFL. Just being so dynamic. Uh, just the pioneer for just being, and for our generation anyway, just being that young, black, unapologetic, uh, just guy influence. Just a prototype for what we see for Lamar Jackson today. But I feel like there's only one real answer here, and that's Odell Beckham Jr. Um, I remember when he made that catch, and then everybody wanted to try and catch it with one hand. Everybody had the little funky mohawks with the blonde. I seen it firsthand with my own eyes, and I seen every kid try and be Odell Beckham Jr. So I'm gonna go ahead and say Odell.
Gianni?
This one is a tough one because, like, I like the Michael Vick one because he changed the generation. Honestly, you look at the quarterbacks today, like Lamar, and I feel like he just changed the game in certain ways with the way he ran, the way he threw as well. Like I feel like Michael Vick is just he changed the game, and I think he changed the culture too of the NFL because you see more running quarterbacks that extend plays and everything like that. So I have to go with Michael Vick, honestly. That was actually pretty good an answer there for honorable mention, Ben, because I was thinking him at first, but like I was like thinking like way before him and stuff like that. So I like Michael Vick. You can also, because of all the quarterbacks that are running extending plays, you can go to running Cunningham. I know we didn't see him play, but he was like the first quarterback, honestly, that like wow everybody. So I like the answer, Ben. As I already mentioned, I'm gonna go with Michael Vick, but Randall Cunningham, I think, made this possible. Honestly,
Both very good answers. I'll go a different position entirely. And the term that a lot of people use nowadays when describing, not even just this position specifically, but athletes in general now, and how entitled they can be at times. I hate using that word, but it does come across like that. Um, why not Randy Moss? I mean, when we think about especially for, the early 2000s, what it meant to be a diva wide receiver. Randy, he always talked that talk, but he can always back it up on the field. I mean, that graphic on Thanksgiving Day of 3 catches, 163 yards, 3 touchdowns, like nobody's touching that. That's undefeated. Um, from the celebrations we would see on the field, he was, a generation of wide receivers that we would see do this, from him, Terrell Owens, Chad Johnson, or Chad Josinko, or however you want to call him. Like those three specifically, I think really changed like what it meant to really like back up what you say, um, while also talking your shit, because you can't be a trash talker and not back up what you say. And those guys could. That's why all three of those guys are qualified Hall of Famers in a lot of people's eyes. Um, Randy was the personification of that. And I think that's when I think about it just from a influential standpoint, Randy Moss I think has like a stake for like most influential player of all time. Um, but I mean the answers that you gave, from Michael Vick, I think Mike, he definitely changed the culture for the early 2000s for the QB spot. Randall Cunningham was a great choice too, for what it meant to be a prototype dual threat QB. But now we have Jello on the call as well. Jello, your answer. Who is the most influential football player of all time? Also, are you sweaty?
Who, me?
Nigga, who was you
Uh,
running from?
Huh? Oh, no,
Who
no.
the fuck was you running from?
I just see.
I had one. Nah, I had washed my hair. Hey, y'all
Oh,
funny.
oh, oh, a black shot goes. Ro came in, looked like he was slim, bro. He just locked the door.
Hey,
Ain't hear nothing, bro.
chill.
He running from ice.
Chill out. Chill out. Most influential football player. Bang. I ain't gonna lie to you. You came in and I already knew you was gonna take my what you call it? My answer PC. So screw you. I was gonna go Randy Moss. But second choice because it was a contemplation that I had. But I gotta go Tom Brady. Um yeah, it was a little bit more recent. Obviously, he just retired. But you cannot deny 23 years in the league, nothing but winning. The thing about Tom Brady, he was seen as more of a villain in the league. At the very beginning, everybody kind of hated Tom Brady. It was like, dang, tired of seeing him win. We had different scandals and everything going on, but for the most part, um, Tom Brady was a winner. And at the end of his career, I mean, you can't deny he was the GOAT. Um, and that's just turned a lot of people on. A lot of kids nowadays, especially, they are kind of getting into um game, and they're like, "Hey, Tom Brady, 7 rings. I mean, you can't get more influential than that." So, I'm gonna go with Tom Brady as my pick.
It turned a lot of
Okay.
people on. What kind of freaky ass shit is you on?
I mean.
Yo, that was crazy,
All
man.
right, bro.
Oh
What
Okay.
kind of freaky ass
Turn
shit is you
no,
on?
no,
I
he's on one,
I
bro.
meant turn them on to the game and loving Tom Brady. Shut up, bro. Okay.
Hey, bro. First you came in sweating, then you talking about turning people on, bro.
It's not
Yo,
sweat, it's water.
hey, man. Whatever you say, whatever you
Yo,
say.
this is
Bro.
crazy, man.
I'm not gonna
Um,
play, bro.
I do think influence can come in like other ways and varieties or other different ways rather. I mean, is there any other player that stands out in terms of just the like influence that they had on the game of football? Because another one I was thinking off the top of my head was Barry Sanders. Just in terms of like who would be like the prototypical running back that a lot of people should look up to or should inspire to be anyway. Um,
Reggie Bush.
Reggie Bush, that's
Reggie
another
Bush
one. Ooh,
definitely, yeah.
Reggie Bush might be a better answer actually when it comes to running backs.
Everybody
Um,
wanted to be Reggie Bush.
oh, Rashawn Jackson. Rashawn Jackson
Prime.
is another one,
All
bro.
right, everybody wants to be prime. That's another one
Yeah,
too, for sure.
Prime. Prime is another one. I think there's an ant on my wall. I think that having who's the DT I just had in mind? Oh my gosh, wait.
Lawrence Taylor. Oh.
Nigga, what did you just say?
I thought he was talking. He said DC. I don't know what he said. What did he say?
I
Yeah, he
did I
said,
did say DC. Yeah.
Oh, DC.
Um, yeah, but no, Lawrence Taylor. I mean, Lawrence Taylor. I don't know if I should count him because I mean the dude was cracked out the entire time, bro. It just I will say Brian Dawkins though. Brian Dawkins. If you said Brian Dawkins or Ed Reed, I wouldn't disagree, bro. I mean, I would not.
Mm,
There
I
ain't
wouldn't
there
put him
ain't
in influence because I mean, if you just think about like at an outspark of like people that don't watch the game for real, you're not gonna think about Brian Dawkins off the top of your head.
I mean, sure, there's a lot of. I mean, I don't know. There's like a lot of people that may have seen like a clip or two of him. But
Probably so.
I feel like they probably feel that same way about any of those big three safeties
Mm.
with Dawkins, Reed, and Palomalu. Um, like I said, influence can come in different shapes and sizes. So, in terms of the NFL, I think it's very interesting to compare the NFL and the NBA in terms of influence because, you know, it's a different like ball game when it comes to the NBA. Like I feel like in the NBA where there's like some like clear like inspirations, clear prototypes that the league has tried to actively go after. Steph Curry is obviously the biggest one that stands out there. I mean the entire game changed, because of Steph Curry. So um I don't know. Like it's an interesting thought. And we might have to come back to this question in the future in terms of like who may be the most influential anyway.
In the NBA?
Okay, in the NBA and
Oh,
the
that's
NFL.
Michael Jordan easy. I'm sorry. That's Michael Jordan easy. Come on now. Let's be honest. There's no debate there. Are we serious?
I mean, I don't know about debate.
more than Stephen Curry or LeBron James? What are we talking about here?
I'd say there's
Bro,
definitely at least a
if we're
debate.
talking about NBA like all time, like
I'll
Michael
go with
Jordan is the
stuff.
most influential, no debates. Jordan, he got more than just the game. I'm talking about the brand. Like
But Joe, think
you want to
about
be a Jordan. Nowadays, you still want to be a Jordan athlete. You don't want to be a LeBron athlete. You don't want to be a Curry athlete. You want to be a Jordan athlete.
but
When you was
Steph
growing
changed the
up, you
game
was
with the
thinking what?
3 point
You was thinking what? I
corner.
jade him. You just got jade. What? Like, come on now. Let's be serious.
That's
But
not what
no,
that
but Steph
stands
changed
for.
the game with the three
What?
pointer.
That's not what that stands for.
What does it stand for?
Jumper.
Yeah, but come on now. It was more.
Wait. You thought this whole time the J stand for Jordan?
I know you lying. I
That's
know
what.
you lying. Just stop talking
I'm
before
not
you
even.
make
I'm
it
not even.
worse.
I'm not
Stop
even
talking
a
before you
ball
make
No,
head.
no,
it
no,
I'm
no,
not
no,
even
no, no.
worse.
Hold on,
a
hold on, hold
hooper
on, hold
like
on.
that for real, for
Hold
real.
on, hold on, hold on. I thought that's what we all thought that.
No, we didn't.
No,
No,
not
we
all.
didn't. That's not what that
Not all, bro.
means. That's not what that have ever meant. That's
Don't
not
say
what that
we.
means.
Well,
Mhm.
down here was the thing.
I mean, three pits, yo.
That's
Crazy
one.
stuff.
Okay, that's one aspect. But if you look at
Yeah.
who influenced the game is completely different now because of Stephen Curry. Now everybody can come
Okay,
up the court
completely
and pull
different
from half court.
now.
I think strictly
That's
for the
cool,
game, it's
What you mean
Steph.
that's cool? You have to be
but
able to shoot. Before Steph Curry, you could get away with not being able to shoot the basketball a little bit. Now, if you're a center and you can't shoot the basketball, you will
You're
get
cooked.
benched in favor for somebody who can shoot the
time out,
basketball.
time out. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Look, kids nowadays,
See, look,
Uh,
yes,
they.
they know who Steph Curry is. Do you think that they don't know who
hey,
Michael
bro,
Jordan
even
is?
your laptop
Do
disagreeing
you
with
think
you
they
right
don't
I
now.
know who
mean,
Michael Jordan is?
you could say that for anybody. That's like saying, okay, I'm influenced by Braun. They know who Jordan is. They know who Shaq is. They know who Kobe is. Hey,
And who you think inspired Kobe? And Kobe inspired millions. Who you think inspired him? I'm just saying, like, I think strictly for the game, like, I get what you're saying. Like, for Jordan, like, yes, everybody should want to strive to be like a Jordan figure, like in terms of what he's accomplished in not just his basketball career, but just in his lifetime as a person. Yeah, everybody should strive to be like MJ. But in terms of strictly of the game of basketball, I think Steph Curry has had a much more impactful like presence, like influence wise, like Bam said, like you can't be a Zach Randolph prototype anymore. Like you had to be a big stretch forward. You have to be a hybrid stretch forward like Nas Reed, in order to just even survive in the league
even if you
for a
are a
while.
Zach Randolph type of guy, you have to be like the top of the top. Like you
Yeah.
have nobody can be able to touch you in that regard of your game. You like if you can't shoot the basketball, you probably not gonna play a lot,
Mm.
and
So
that's because of Steph, right?
that's crazy, but I mean, hey, that's just how the game has evolved, man. Um, I don't know. We'll have to see how it pans out. Let's head to the next topic. Let's actually go to the NFL. Back to it anyway. And we got to talk about the Baltimore Ravens, and we got to talk about that Lamar Jackson tweet. We got to talk about that bombshell that he knew that they would drop. Eric DeCosta just became a Samaritan. Tyler Loop just got a bunch of free drinks in the city of Baltimore because Max Crosby is now a Baltimore Raven with this trade that went off. So, I mean, the initial reactions went up because I saw it late. I mean, I would love to hear y'all's initial reactions to start. Um, you know, let's start. We'll go in order. Gianni.
Man, when I first saw that, that was like it was crazy, honestly, when it first happened. Because earlier, like an hour or earlier or something, I saw that it was between the Cowboys and the Ravens for him, and like I felt like the Ravens had the upper hand because the Ravens wanted to trade that first. I think the Cowboys trade wanted to trade a first and the second. So like it is crazy. I feel like the Raiders too, if they actually draft well, that they might have actually a good future. But when you look at the Ravens now, getting Crosby now, I feel like that could take them to the next level. And the AFC, man, I have to say this: the AFC is for anybody, honestly. Not for the bad teams, obviously, like in the bottom, but it's for anybody on top, honestly. So this is a big move made by them, and I think they got a chance to get to the Super Bowl. I know they always are like one of the favorites on top, but like this move puts them, I think, over the top in the AFC.
Jella.
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. Um, I really wish that we had one of them Raiders fans in here right now. Hey, look, when I heard the news, I was a little bummed out because I knew he was in the running for it, and I wasn't too disappointed seeing the package that we had. It was a realistic package, but Ravens just had a better package. Shout out to them. They made it come through. I wouldn't have been too thrilled giving up two firsts, but it was still good value regardless. But I have been hearing all off season. Max Crosby ain't going nowhere. He's a Raider for life. He's not going nowhere. If he's getting traded, it's at least next season. I've been hearing that all year, and I kept trying to tell him they're not going to just. He's not gonna just sit there and be on a losing team at 29 years old. He's trying to win a ring. But hey, that's fine. I don't have no Raiders fan here. I don't have no Raiders fan here. If you listening though, Raiders fans, I told you so. I tried to tell you, I tried to make it easier for y'all. But no, y'all had to learn the hard way. Y'all had to feel the cope. Y'all had to actually cope with it. Y'all had to be living y'all delusion until it happened. So I'm so sorry. I'll try to prepare y'all. I tried to prepare y'all. But no, y'all wanted to live in y'all delusion. And when it happened, oh, we got cap space now. Yay! We got picks. Oh, shut up. I'm all right, never mind. I ain't gonna get into it. I ain't gonna get into it. Ravens fans, great trade. Y'all are gonna be great. I hope that takes y'all to the next level. New coach, everything. Proud of you, proud of y'all for real. That's my second favorite team. Go Jackson, go Lamar Jackson. We good, we good.
That's just something about a Cowboys fan talking like a big brother to Raiders fans. That's just
Fam, you
it
guys are
just
cursed
I,
now. Fam, I feel
I,
for you all. Y'all are
I
cursed,
listened to
y'all.
I zoned out after like 2 minutes. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey! I'm already official. They already let me in Ravens flight.
When the fuck
No
we do
way.
that?
Oh,
When the
Huh?
fuck we do that?
okay.
Forgot? You let me in?
Yo,
You let me in yourself.
I didn't do shit.
Uh-huh. Bam, rebuttal.
Um, First off, EDT, I kiss you on your bald ass head. We've been waiting for this forever.
yo.
That's not pause. That's my
Hell,
GM. That's my GM.
hey, hey,
That's
Come
my
on,
general
Yo.
bro.
manager.
I don't think
hold
group
on,
chat rules
hold on.
apply in
That's
on
my
the
GM, dog.
podcast. That was no
I
okay.
look. Um, I remember last year during the season when we were trying to trade for Max and it didn't materialize. Um, so first and foremost, I'm glad we actually revisited this and send an offer through. I don't give a fuck about sending 2 first-round picks. I promise you I don't. As a Ravens fan, I don't care because I get sick of us hoarding picks when we can go and get guys. This has been happening to us for years. Guys have been on the table. We don't want to trade picks and then they leave. So Max is definitely worth 2 first-round picks. All this bullshit I keep hearing about, oh, Max Crosby ain't that good. He injury prone. He has missed 6 games due to injury in like the past, I don't know. I think it's been his whole career. So all this injury prone shit. Oh, he got 10 sacks last year. We had 20 sacks last year as a team. I promise you, I will take 10 sacks a year from Max Crosby. I promise you I will take. Um, Again, it's a very good move. I'm just hoping that the rest of the chips fall where they fall. They align. Lamar gets his extension. Hopefully, Tyler Linderbaum come back. But the way that it's projected right now, this is a very good start. Uh, I'm excited. Damn near crashed my car when I seen the damn notification. So very excited, very excited.
Um, I just have to point out there. I mean, to look at the package. Oh wait, hold on. Before I actually begin my say, hold on. Watch this. Hey, watch this real quick. Yeah, you dropped that. You dropped that. You dropped that, dickhead. Um. Anyways, like I was saying, the package that they
You
got.
need to be throwing that shit on yourself. Nigga, you ain't hear what you just said. Talk about some look at the package and then just stop right there. You need to throw that shit on yourself. Yeah, throw that shit on yourself.
Hey,
No, no. Actually, matter of fact, I got some. I got some for that. Hold on. Wait.
What's going on?
About to put that fucking jersey on, ain't
Y'all ain't catching me, bro. Y'all ain't catching me, bro. I'm
he?
throwing
Watch,
that.
the
all right,
challenge
boy.
flag is crazy.
We gonna clip that. We gonna clip that one.
Y'all can't catch me looking like that, man. Look. All I'm saying, the trade package that's the Ravens ended up getting for Max Crosby, only two first round picks. And we talked about what the Bills have gotten for DJ Moore, and how only the trade market right now is only rising. And I do think that is impacting a lot of players potentially being moved elsewhere. Um, I say this in the most wholehearted way possible when I talk to Ravens fans. Yes, getting Max Crosby is a great move. 10 times out of 10, every single time. Anytime that you got a chance to get someone like him, you have to. I While I do think defense was the main issue with this team this past year, how can we trust the rest of the team when it's time to actually play in the big time games, which is my biggest thing. And we have to see how Jesse Minter and his coaching staff implements the brand new systems that they have offensively and defensively. Um, I do think that what we saw from the Ravens defense this past season was nothing short of terrible. So bringing in someone like a Max Crosby was a good move. Um, especially considering who's the defensive tackle that you guys have, edge rusher. I
Matter
don't know how to
Bige.
pronounce his name. Yeah, Matt BK. Like there's still some like questions on the health of that defensive line specifically, but I do think this is a great move. I mean, again, getting someone like a Max Crosby is never a bad move. Um, to counteract the points, or to make the point that Jello made about Ravens fans, or excuse me, about Raider fans when it comes to Max Crosby, there is a whole lot of coping going on. I'm not even gonna hold you. There's a lot of coping going on when it pertains to that fan base right now. I mean, Max is someone that wanted to stay in Las Vegas. Tom Brady, I mean, Tom is he's a competitor, and he wanted to keep Crosby. He's so much of a competitor. He didn't want to trade him to the Patriots. Um, so I do think that Crosby getting a brand new start is something that is nothing short of incredible. I mean, you look at that division now, which was already a very bloody, brutal division, now has arguably three of the top pass rushers in the same division, and TJ Watt, Miles Garrett, and Max Crosby. Joe Burrow. This is the real loser right here. It's Joe Burrow, bro. Yo, there ain't much else to say. Have you seen the pick?
Fuck them. Fuck them.
It's diabolical, bro.
Hey, they good
Truly.
too though. Look, Bengals got oh, never mind. Trey Hendrickson is gone, ain't he?
I was about to say Trey Henderson
Yeah,
is gone, buddy.
nope. They don't
He's
even have
gone,
him.
buddy.
He
They
will
do.
be a cowboy. But that's for another day. That's for
He
another day.
might be the way it's looking right now.
They know got a lot going on, man. It's tragic. It truly is. It's
It-
tragic.
Bengals
But
downfall is very, very
hey, shout out to
sad.
the Ravens. They got the job done. They made a big splash in the offseason. Good stuff on EDC. But that leads us actually into the next question, next topic, which is trade that I brought up, talking about DJ Moore. DJ Moore from Chicago to Rochester to play for the Buffalo Bills. In a trade that's consistent of so a lot of first round, a lot of picks being moved actually to acquire the former Pro Bowl receiver. Buffalo is sending a second round pick to Chicago in exchange for more in 2026 fifth round selection. So they are guaranteeing 15 million of Moore's $23 million contract salary in 2028. So this basically means that everything in here is going to be fully guaranteed come next week. Um, with Bills finally being a wide receiver one, a true wide receiver one anyway, does this increase their chances at finally winning that Super Bowl? Bam, yes or no?
Eh, yes and no, because one, I'm a little biased as a Terp fan myself. I love DJ Moore. Uh, Happy to see him with a top five quarterback. Caleb was a great quarterback, but those two clearly had a bit of a chemistry issue. You can see. And they got a lot of young guys over there in Chicago that kind of take away from DJ. And I'm pretty sure at this point in the time, DJ wants to be the full. I want to be the wide receiver one. I want to be the go-to guy. So for him to go to Buffalo, it was a good move. I think Buffalo overpaid just a tad bit. Uh, I don't know what the fuck Brandon Bean is over there doing. Definitely overpaid just a tad bit for DJ with a second round pick. Um, but much like I will say about the Ravens, I'll hold Josh to the same standard. The only thing that stands in the Bills' way is Josh Allen. Last year's playoff proved that when you turn the ball over 4 or 5 times, despite having an advantage, you know that's on you. So much like I would say for Lamar Jackson, the only thing that stands in the Bills' way is Josh Allen. So Josh has to figure it out this year. Um, I would hope that his GM and his team puts the pieces around him, improve the defense. They taking steps to improving the offense with DJ Moore. So at this point, he has to buckle down and put it together. But I think this helps their chances a lot.
Yeah. Jello.
I'm gonna be honest because we was actually speaking about the DJ Moore before the trade happened. Um, I like the trade for the most part because it gives Josh Allen a true number one receiver. Um, he hasn't had that in a little while since at least since Stephon Diggs left. I think it's a pretty good trade. I wouldn't say it's a complete overpay because they did get a fifth round pick back. Um, my thing is, do I really believe in DJ Moore still? Um, he's obviously been a reliable receiver for most part of his career, but these past 2 years he's been kind of slipping down. Um, I do believe that he was supposed to still be the true number one receiver, even when Rome got drafted, and obviously when Luther Burden got drafted, that was kind of like the push him to the side because he absolutely took over. Um, DJ Moore had a lot of crucial drops these past 2 years, especially last year. Um, some and a lot of mistakes that really shouldn't have been made. Being the veteran receiver you are, especially in a receiver room full of young guys, and you're the veteran. Um, there's a lot of things that I can point out, um, but I do not truly believe in DJ Moore that much. I think that he is entering the end of his prime. I think that he is outside of his prime, actually. This is kind of about to turn into the downtrend of his career, and they're going to regret it in a couple of years. That's what my take is on it. But for this year, I want to see how it goes. I don't think that he's going to get the projection that people that especially Bill fans are hoping that they're going to get out of him. He's not going to be a 1,200 yard receiver or anything. If anything, I really and truly believe that he'll barely crack 1,000 yards. But we gonna see how that goes. But that's my take on it, Gianni.
I look at this trade, like you said, DJ Moore had some key drops the last 2 years, especially last season. I felt like last season in those Green Bay games, even though he made those key touchdown catches, he also dropped a couple there that put them behind in those games, which almost killed them at them. But he stepped up. For the Bills, I think this is a good trade for him because they get now like a true number one. But I just not moved by them yet because they still need to add more to the roster. And after seeing Josh perform that way against Denver, I have a little bit of pause with them. Honestly, I think they're going to win their division because I think New England's going to take a step back. We all know the Jets and the Dolphins are going to be terrible, so they're going to win like 12 games, but I don't think they're going to go that far. Honestly, like looking at them, I know there's a lot in the off season to go, but I'm just not moved by it. It's good that they got a number one threat now, but for long run, I'm not buying this. And to trade a second round pick, honestly, he basically Brandon Mean destroyed the wide receiver trade market with that second round pick, honestly, because now you look at other trades that can happen this all season, a lot of teams are going to be demanding more than that as of right now.
Yeah. And I mean, like I said, that the trade market right now for a wide receiver one, especially one of the veteran presence like a DJ Moore, it is like something that I think the Bills were so desperate for and went so bad for this past season. I'm sure Brandon Bean and that entire front office is just kicking themselves for what they did to poor Josh Allen, even though he committed four turnovers in that playoff game. Um, DJ Moore coming over to Buffalo. Now Josh has zero excuses, in my opinion. I mean, we know how deadly Josh Allen could be come playoff time. And even with the four turnovers that he had against the Broncos, he still, made it competitive at the end and still gave them a chance to win the football game. Now with that wide receiver one again, and potentially whatever's gonna happen with Stephon Diggs. I mean, there's options out there. There's options out there for Josh Allen, and he's been able to make it work for his entire tenure in Buffalo. I just don't know how many more times we have to keep making it work. Um, and DJ Moore, if you ask me if DJ Moore puts him over the top as like my favorite to come out the AFC, I mean, I'm more inclined to believe um that a team like the Ravens can come out the AFC better, or a team like the Broncos, or even a team like the Chiefs, bouncing back this year. Like it's just now more than ever, Josh Allen is his division to lose for sure because Patriots are going to take a step back. I think we can all agree on that. It's his division to lose, and if all the cards fall in the right spot for him, I think it's his conference to lose as well. I mean, getting someone like DJ Moore was strictly to help Josh out. Now you have that. Now you got that wide receiver one that you were looking for. Now it's time to actually do something with it. And a brand spanking new stadium too. I mean, come on. Um, DJ Moore, James Cook, Dalton Kincaid, I mean, there's just there's weapons there in Buffalo. Um, defensively, it has to be defensively what that team got because they're always injured anyway. Um,
Speaking of defense, Bills actually just traded Teron Johnson to the Raiders, so it's another piece that they
uh,
just lost.
well, I mean, there you go. Look, breaking news already in the middle of the pod. So it's just they're losing pieces left and right, bro. I don't know, man. I
Let's
don't
see
know.
what happens there.
Um, hey, we'll have to see if any other breaking news unfolds while in recording of this podcast. But first things first, quick water check in. We're already halfway through the episode. For all your listeners, hopefully you've been staying hydrated. Make sure y'all follow our socials, we sports all across the board. So let's take a little detour from the NFL real quick, and let's talk about the NBA and what we've seen because we're really close to playoff time in the NBA, y'all. There's less than a month left in the season. Crazy to believe. It feels like the season just started. But as the playoff seeding unfolds, sooner or later we'll have a new NBA world champion, and right after that, it's gonna end up being the NBA draft, which may not even see the top two prospects in said draft. AJ Dionne and Darren Peterson have both expressed interest at potentially coming back for another season to play for BYU and Kansas. So, as dust settles, and I do think that both of them declare for the draft, which uh which of these players or any other player would you pick with the number one overall pick in the NBA draft this season? I'll start with you, Jello.
Man, I'm going with the player that's been most consistent in college right now. Um, he's not been getting enough talk on the number one pick, and that's Cameron Boozer. Um, why is he not getting enough talk? They have him like dead set on number three. I think he's a 100% a better player than Darren Peterson. So hands down. Now, the biggest thing is he better than AJ? I don't think that he's better than AJ, not really, but he is the most surefire player right now just because of the uncertainty if AJ is going to stay in college or not. So that's what I'm dead set on right now. Um, as far as is he going to be available in the draft? But I do in this scenario, I would pick AJ because you did say if they both do declare, um, I would take AJ on that one. But if it's not AJ, if he does not come out of college, I'm taking Cameron Boozer. Even if Darren Peterson declares, I'm still taking Cameron Boozer over Darren Peterson. That's my pick. Um, there shouldn't be no debate there. So I honestly and truly, I do not think that Darren Peterson is worth a top three pick right now, if we're
Mm,
being honest.
wow. Um, it's you know what? It's I would call it a hot take, but it shouldn't feel like a hot take, but it feels like a hot take. Um, I personally I would still go with AJ, bro. And this from the potential that we've seen, this from the hype that we've gotten. Of course, the season hasn't panned out, as expected because he plays for BYU. But I do think that a talent like that surely can't go the waste. And Cam Boozer, if AJ didn't exist, he would be my second choice. I think the problem with Darren Pearson is that we haven't seen him. We haven't seen him as much on the court this season, for one reason or another. And when we have, it's been great. But when we look at the 6-5 game rule in the NBA right now, which by the way, everybody all of a sudden thinks is the most horrible thing in the world because their favorite isn't winning an award. I think it's funny. As someone like a Darren Peterson who has so much untapped potential, and could be a potential big star in the league. You have to look at all the injuries that he's had. So if you had to ask me, I'll go AJ. But Bam,
I'm easily going AJ. Like to me, this is a no-brainer. Um, I do agree that Cameron Boozer's game is like really refined. Like people don't give him enough credit for how refined his game is, how complete it is at his age. But I just think that the talent from AJ is just like undeniable to me. Um, the thing about Darren Peterson is it seems like Darren Peterson doesn't even want to play basketball. Like he seems so disinterested with basketball. I don't know if it's because of the injuries or what, but he tapped himself out of games. He barely plays, and it's like on his part, like why are we load managing in college? Like what are we doing here? Like you saving yourself for the NBA? Like okay, play the full season dude before you start trying to load manage. He just seems completely disinterested in the NBA because the talent is there, but um. I would take AJ number one right now, like without a doubt.
Gianni.
Yeah, I agree. If AJ declares, which I think he will, I think he will be the number one pick, and I think number two will be Cam. Honestly, I think they're one and two to me right now, easily for right now, and that's only if AJ declares.
It's funny because I mean there was like a lot of discourse surrounding Ants, when he was coming into the draft, talking about how he may not be committed to basketball. And I think there's a true commitment there now, for sure. There's a true commitment there now. With Darren, again, a lot of untapped potential. And I feel like teams now really don't want to feed into that anymore, mainly because there's a lot of impatience around the league right now. A lot of impatience, from a lot of teams that think that they have an opportunity to compete now. That it won't really fly. It won't really fly for me. In my humble opinion anyway. So I think that AJ would end up going first, but to shout out to Cam Boozer, man. I mean, he's casually, given Duke a really quality season, having them as a one seed, one of the favorites to win national championship this year. Like it's just I don't think enough people are talking about it. It's because a lot of people haven't seen or didn't feel as though Duke would end up like actually end up doing something this year. It was not expected. I don't think people should label it as that. I think it's a lot of pride ends up getting in the way of that. Maybe people that were wrong about someone like Cam Boozer, but hey, at least that's how I feel about it. That was my ultimate topic, though. Let's get to the last topic of the night, and let's talk about the return of Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum, less than a year after tearing his Achilles, made his return this past weekend against the Mavericks. Had 15 points in his return game, and the Celtics currently has the two seeds and just beat the Cavs this past afternoon in Cleveland. Did so well, and it's the Celtics world, and we're just living in it, aren't we, Gianni? Your thoughts on Sam's return?
I see now, like it's crazy. Like now, Boston is playing with a different type of energy. It is crazy, PC. Like we're living in their world, and I hate it because I don't like them at all. Honestly, I have bad history with them, so it sucks, man. They're gonna probably win the East at this point because we've seen Detroit showing cracks. The Knicks are frauds. The Cavs, we don't even know what they're doing at this point. Like getting Tatum back at least gets them to the finals, at least against whoever comes out of the West. But like, man, and him coming back from the Achilles injury under 300 days, man, it's crazy. Like it feels like he hasn't like missed a beat. He was a little slow, like in that first half against Dallas, but the second half and today's game, I was like looking at his movement and everything, and it looked like he just dusted that off. Honestly, like he didn't miss a step. It was just that first half against Dallas. This just makes them so much dangerous now at this point. Like they're too loaded at this point, and especially in the Eastern Conference.
Uh, Sam.
I'm extremely happy to see him back. One, because I didn't think that he was going to be ready in time to. I didn't think he was going to come back in time for the playoffs, let alone back this early. Um, him looking as good as he did, minus just the psychological stuff that you're going to have to battle that when you come back from injury, regardless of how good your body feels. Your mind has to get right. You can see that he's kind of struggling with that, but physically he looked damn good. And he's one of those guys who has a game that isn't super athletic isn't super reliant on athleticism. So this injury isn't, some sort of career injury or something that's just going to completely derail his career. He's going to be fine. Like he's going to develop his shooting touch more, uh, and that's going to help him along with his physicality. Um, I was completely wrong about the Celtics. I thought they were going to be trash. And not only are they not trash, they are on track to what seed are they at right now? They got to be one seed, ain't they?
Two seed.
Two seed. They're the two seed right now, and Jason Tatum just came back and he looks good. Um, they're gonna run through the East. I don't think that the Pistons can hold them because you shut Cade down and they don't have much offense outside of Cade. Uh, I don't care to talk about anybody else in the East besides the Pistons when it comes to defending against the Celtics. So man, it's crazy to see him back, and it's crazy to see them doing so well.
Jello.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. He looked great. His return coming back. I did not expect that, to be honest. I thought a step back. Um, but what I seen out of him, I mean, he's jumping off that Achilles just fine. He's looking like old Tatum. Um, yes, it is looking like he is a little has a little, mental, things going on, just making sure that he's sure of himself, like what Bam said. But for the most part, um, after that type of Achilles injury and coming back so soon, that just shout out to the doctors because oh my gosh, like that's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm pretty excited to see what the Celtics, especially Tatum, is going to do with this season. I did expect them to be trash. I expected them to be at least a six seed at the highest, but they definitely proved me wrong this season. Jaylen Brown been stepping up. That whole team all around has been stepping up. In Tatum's absence, and now that he's back, um, it's going to be pretty cool to see. Shout out to Jason Tatum because he did that.
I think we need to talk about the implications of this for the sports world. If anybody can come back from Achilles that bad and looking this good, bro, no, the doctors is just
Man, the doctors, yeah,
I don't
that's
know what the fuck these doctors be eating nowadays, but people just be snapping back from injuries like that. Like Achilles used to be considered a career ender, like you're done,
for real.
especially in basketball. So being able to come back like that, it's very encouraging for the sports world and just medicine in general because you're not supposed to be able to come back from Achilles that fast and look as good as you do. Like Jello said, he was jumping off that motherfucker. Like he wasn't dunking because
Yeah, but he was jumping off of it. Yeah,
when, like
he
he
had
was
he had
jumping off that
12. He had
motherfucker.
12 rebounds, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
12 boys off of Achilles injury. Come on
that's
now,
just
Yeah,
crazy.
that's
that's
crazy.
crazy.
Oh, he tried to dunk, but he looked like didn't want.
It's
He didn't feel
psychological. He
comfortable.
jumped
As
and was like,
yeah,
Yeah, it's a
"Oh
second.
shit,
Yeah,
I got that high," and then missed that motherfucker.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah.
It's a I just bro, I don't know what else needs to be said about Boston anymore. In his return game, he almost had a triple double, guys. 15 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists in his return game. Then he came out today, 20 points, and ended up making two clutch threes in the end ultimately to seal it for Boston. Um and the thing about Boston too, like they will end up giving you a lot of 3-point volume scoring, and it'll be from guys that have like that will be NBA trivia questions in the future, bro. Like, I'm sorry, who is Mr. Kada, who ended up coming out against us, a few nights back and having a 30-point double double. Who is a Payton Pritchard going to be in another decade in the league? I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me run down the roster of this Celtics team, bro. Give a shout out to Baylor. I'm gonna try to pronounce this Baylor Shireman, who ended up finishing today's game with 16 points and 10 rebounds. He had a double double. Derek White's still there. Jaylen Brown's still there, holding it down. Sam Hauser's still there. Luca Garza, even Luca freaking Garza is finding production with the Boston Celtics. I don't know what blood magic they play with. I don't know what satanic rituals they perform. I don't know what else needs to be said about Boston that hasn't already been said. And I think us collectively as basketball fans, we wanted to write off this team. We wanted to think, okay, they're gonna end up making the playoffs, but it's gonna be as a six seed. It's gonna be as a play-in team. No, 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 no. Boy, were we wrong. No, we were completely wrong. Everybody was completely wrong about this team. I was wrong about this team. I was wrong about Jaylen Brown. I was wrong about Derek White. I was wrong about a lot of these guys that just ended up proving the whole world wrong, at least in the regular season. We'll have to see how this really pans out come playoff time because, I mean, we know the playoffs are a different breed, but we also know that this team is wired for it. Joe Mazzulla has been there, done that. Jason Tatum, for as much slack as we tend to give him, been there, done that. Derek White was a pivotal, piece in helping them win the finals, from that season against the Mavericks. Been there, done that. And now you add on other key pieces to this team. in the form of Peyton Pritchard and Sam Hauser and Baylor and all these guys. Like it's just so unfair to see what goes on in Boston. It's just it's unfair. It's unfair. That's really all I got to say. It's unfair. But hey, man, say man, crazy things have happened. I'm just really hoping that someone like a New York who actually might be, ironically enough, the only hope to end the Boston's immaculate run this season because I mean they did it last year, and they virtually have the same team. Only real difference is a different head coach. I would think like if we think about it in the grand scheme of things right now, like who would you actually have being Boston in a 7-game series out the Eastern Conference right now? Because I do think it may actually be New York. I can't see New York being anybody else
I think y'all got a good chance. If
if we're healthy.
I was gonna say if Embiid can stay healthy at least for that series, it'll at least go to 7 because people writing off the Sixers for whatever reason. Like they just not healthy. But when y'all were healthy, y'all were playing like really good basketball. Y'all were another team that surprised me.
Don't
I
don't
thought y'all
don't
were
tell
going to be
Sixers fans that we're too delusional for that.
I thought y'all was going to be terrible. But nah, y'all playing good basketball. Y'all just not healthy for whatever fucking reason.
Uh,
Mm.
I'll
How we
say
feeling? How we feeling about the Pistons right now?
I was gonna say Pistons.
Disappointing the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's been going, especially yesterday.
They don't
Especially,
have any scoring outside of Cade. Cade has to take all the shots.
The
Like
scoring, the
Cade will
scoring
go.
that they had
I
was
can't say
Malik
that because
Beasley.
Durant can score now. He just has to have a playmaker there.
I'm about to say, and when you box Cade, he ain't getting no
Yeah,
baskets. He's not making no baskets for
he
himself.
has to
Like,
have a
Yeah.
playmaker in order to score. But when you have a Cade, I mean, he can score. I can't even lie.
but the thing about it is, yeah, they be boxing Cade. Cade would shoot 8 for 22, and nobody else would shoot anything, or
Hmm.
they shooting horrible. Like they don't have
Yeah.
anything outside of Cade, and that's gonna be
Hmm.
their issue when it gets to the playoffs.
I have
I
a
think it's gonna be
controversial
hilarious.
take. I
Uh,
This is gonna be a team that, for whatever reason, since the beginning of January, they've been on a complete tear. How about the Hornets, man? The Hornets,
you know
they
what?
And I
If they
like
man,
could
the
get out the
Hornets.
if they could get out the play in, bro, if they could somehow continue this hot streak going into the playoffs, man, yeah, they're gonna give Boston a run for the money for sure. I mean, they just blew them out. They
yeah,
did just blow them out the other
yeah,
Seven
night.
by
game
like
series though, with Tatum, nah, I'm not even gonna buy. I'm not even gonna play into that. But I really do like the Hornets right now. I think they about maybe 2 years away, and they can be contending, real
Who on the
contending.
Celtics is stopping the Hornets?
What? Come
Who's
on now,
stopping
bro.
them?
Come on, bro.
Amen. Amen. Look, I think that
I feel like they're
everybody
just too. I feel like they're just too young of a team in a playoff setting. It's just more
everybody
experience
going
there.
into the season this year, we're so high on the Wizards, and the Hornets came out and were like, "Yo, what the fuck, everybody," and it's turned up ever since, bro. Like Lamelo now, I think Lamelo is starting to acknowledge and accept his role on the team. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if I consider
Yeah.
him as the first option anymore, and I don't think a lot of people do. Um, and that's okay because he's been great in the role that he's in now. So I shout out to Charles Lee, who, funny enough, you never guess he was associate head coach for. So it's just it all circles back to Boston in some form or fashion. I think if there's any team, any surprise team anyway, that might have a real shot at being them, I think it would be Boston, or excuse me, I think it would be Charlotte.
other
Um,
dark horse team that is in the fifth seed right now. That to me they're under the radar. Nobody really talking about them, but Toronto.
mm,
What do you guys think about Toronto?
Nah, absolutely not. Absolutely the fuck not.
no,
Yeah,
Boston
bro.
is gonna beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, come on,
Uh,
bro. Let's just
yeah,
be
but
I
serious.
don't feel
No.
different.
Let's be
The
serious.
Raptors are like a scrappy team. They remind me of Detroit last year. Like they a scrappy team. They gonna punish you. They gonna make sure you earn every basket, but they don't
yeah,
have the
but
firepower.
that's the way you have to play versus Boston. That's how New York played at times against Boston, and that gave them fits last season, and ended
Yeah,
up
but
be,
the why people lose to Boston is because Boston will shoot 63s a game. They will outpace the fuck out of you. And if you can't match that, you're done. They have the
That's
best
why I
shooters on the
think it's
planet.
ironically enough, that's why I think that New York matches up the best against Boston. I don't think New York matched up the best against anybody else, but New York is strictly in the playoffs to be a team like the Boston Celtics. So I do think that they pair up well. Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, they're now they added Jose Alvarado too. Like perimeter wise, it's shut down every single time. And I think that might play a part if those two teams were to face up against each other. Um, but a team like the Hornets, if again they can keep up the momentum that they have, yes, I can't say Philly wholeheartedly because we're not healthy enough for that. Um, but I think it is going to be a very interesting sight. But Detroit for me, they definitely disappoint me to say the least. At least that's a one seed, and maybe they're at that point in the season where it's like maybe the spotlight really is a bit too bright for them right now, and honestly, that's okay because I don't think a lot of people even had them as a one seed coming into the season. At least not for as long as they've held on to it. So there's still a lot of growing up to do in Detroit. We'll have to see how it all unfolds. Like I said, it's where the playoffs for the NBA are right around the corner, boys. Right around the corner. So we'll have to see how the rest of the season unfolds. A little less than 20 games left for every team. Um, so yeah, good segment. Good topic 10 tonight and to end the episodes. Episode 257 officially wrapped up in a nice bow. I want to thank everybody for coming out this week. For all your listeners, follow up one, check up on them, tell them that you love them, stay hydrated, of course. Free Palestine. Happy International Women's Day. Shout out to all the black women in sports, from the likes of Malika Andrews, Shine Aquajimi. I have to give a shout out to Rai. She's doing her thing. She's doing her thing with her WNBA content as well. So shout out to her. There's plenty of women in sports nowadays that I think deserve the acknowledgement more. I've been on record saying it before, but the future of this country truly is a woman, and I think the more people kind of grow to accept that, then we can finally get rid of this gender inequality that we got going on. It's doesn't take a man's mind to be a basketball head coach or football or any major sport head coach. All it takes is talent. All it takes is creativity, ingenuity, and from you know familiar faces like Becky Hammond and Dawn Staley and Kim Mulkey. There is always going to be room for improvement. There's always going to be room for success, and there's a lot of women in sports nowadays that have seen so much success. So, to all of y'all, um, thank you. Thank you. Breaking barriers, even on some days where you may not feel like you're breaking those barriers. You're doing well. You're doing well. We'll see y'all for episode 258 come next week. I don't know what we're gonna do next week yet. I don't know what's in store. We'll have to see how it all unfolds. My name is Philly Cameron, aka PC, joined by Bam, Gianni, and Jello this week. Thank y'all for listening to We Hate Sports Podcast, baby. Good night. Goodbye. Sorry, no bussy jokes this week, TK.